Okay, so this is Nancy Billington, Vice Chair of Fairfield Town Ethics Commission, opening our annual meeting on December 7th. It is 5:07. Does everyone want to introduce themselves? Attending?
This is Craig Van Steenbergen, Secretary.
Will be
Dana Carey.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Cantor.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, and we will proceed to call to order. The first item is the approval of minutes from our regular meeting in 2021 and special meetings on December 16th of 21, February 10th of 22, and March 16th of 22.
I will make a motion to approve those minutes. However, I know that there is one amendment, at least.
Okay.
And
Brian?
I just had a comment on the December 7th draft minutes. Was Commissioner Bolito still on the board at that time?
Yes.
No.
He was, okay.
Are you saying that he wasn't?
I don't know when he left.
I don't recall Commissioner Bolito being on the commission at the same time as I was.
I thought that it was his last meeting.
I don't know either. I'd have to.
Well, let's strike his name from the list then. If
Okay.
you recall, that was an oversight.
Okay.
Strike. So Brian, you thought that was the case, and Nancy, you're kind of seconding that.
Yes, I second that.
Okay. So with that one, there's a motion on the floor to extend meetings with that one revision. Is there a second to approve the minutes?
I'll second. Brian Cantor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And of course, really only those that participated. So that would be
correct. I will abstain because I was not present at that December 7th meeting. This is Dana Carey.
Yeah. So
that was the first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I logged in at 7 o'clock, and it was a 5 o'clock meeting.
Oh.
And I recall that. Okay. So the minutes are approved as amended.
All right. So we move to old business. Is there any old business?
Not hearing any?
No. Not hearing any. We will move to new business, and that is to hear, consider, and approve 2023 officers. Is the list of officers attached to this?
No, we have, right now we have a vice chair, that's Nancy, and we have a secretary, that would be myself. Our chair position has been vacant since Alex, his term was not renewed. So
right.
I will I will offer myself as secretary once again, if that would suffice. But we can address that later. The position that we need to fill would be the, as I see it, Nancy, would be the chair's position. You are currently serving as the.
Okay, so we don't expect any additional members. Is that true on the commission?
No.
No,
So we're a group of 5.
We are a group of 5. I believe the charter calls for a 5 on the Ethics Commission. This is Dana speaking.
So it sounds like, are you asking me to take the position of chair?
Would anybody like to make that request?
Is there anyone who would, yes, like to make a request to be the chair?
I will request that you be the chair, Nancy, if you are so willing to do so.
Okay.
Thank you, Dana.
All right. So then do we have a vote?
We would be willing to accept that role.
Yes, I will accept the role. It's a surprise to me. I'm sorry. I didn't realize what was happening.
Well, you know, since you've served in the role of the vice chair, the natural progression would be up. But we appreciate that. So it appears that Nancy would be willing to fill that role. Nancy, did you want to request a vote?
Yes, that's fine. I request.
I just had a question. Who's our slate? So we have Nancy for chair, and who for vice chair?
Well, we could either vote on the one role at a time, or we certainly could discuss all the positions. We don't have a vice chair yet. If Nancy was to elevate to chair, then she would vacate the vice chair, and we'd have to name a vice chair as well. I mean, we'd have to elect a vice chair as well.
I'd be willing to step up to the plate for vice chair if Nancy is stepping up to chair.
And that's Brian speaking.
Right, Brian Cantor.
Yep. Okay, well, thank you for that.
That's great.
Any, Nancy, did you want to ask if there was any discussion on those?
Yes. Is there any discussion?
I think that'd be a nice slate.
Okay. All right. Well, we've become a bit of a seasoned group, most of us, right? So we'll move forward and help each other.
Oh, absolutely. Was it okay if I would continue as the secretary?
No,
I will
move
to
Brian Cantor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll continue with filing the minutes and staying in contact with the first selectman's offices, Jennifer there in case there's any help that we need. Calling any special meetings that we have to have. Of course, that's just part of the role of the secretary. Okay. We could
Craig,
vote.
A quick question. So, if and when matters are presented for the board to consider, will they come through you first, or does that traditionally come to me first?
That would come. You know what? It can come either way. I would like to make sure that that the Ethics Commission portion of the town site indicates all of our members with you as the chair, if we so elect you.
Okay.
I'd like to have that, make sure that that's updated. But typically, my name had been the only one that had been on there. And so that would come through to me, and then I would forward it to Alex. But it should come through to you. It should come through you.
All right.
But it could be either. It could be either one. Sometimes it's going to be something that's going to reflect me.
Yes, and I'll let Jen know.
Okay. So
Yes,
did you want to conduct?
The current member listing is correct.
Oh, good.
Will is, but it does not list chair or vice chair. It does have you, Craig, as secretary. And with our terms expiring for myself, Brian Cantor, and Craig on July 2023, and then Will and Nancy expiring on July 2024.
So, yeah, okay.
Okay,
yeah.
so I guess we all know where we are now. And I suppose we just need a motion to accept the slate.
I'd so move. Brian Cantor.
Second, Dana Carey.
Okay.
And a yay from me.
Okay. So I guess it would, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So that passes 5 to 0.
Okay. So, yeah. 3 ayes. Okay. All right. The other, any other discussion on that? If not, then we move to the other point of new business, and that is to hear, consider, and approve the 2023 meeting dates.
Well, let's discuss that. Today is the first Wednesday, the month of December. We have to at least have a meeting once every year, and that's sort of been the tradition of the Ethics Commission. So we could schedule a meeting for the first Tuesday, the first Wednesday of the month of December, whatever anybody. The first Wednesday would be December 6th.
Okay.
And what that generally means is, and of course Nancy and Brian are familiar with this, we need to meet on that date, just as we're doing today. However, that does not mean that that'll be our only meeting during the year. If there's a call for us to gather to discuss an ethics issue, if there's a call for us, then we will do that as required. And of course, that will be termed a special meeting, and we'll have to. I will make a call to the town clerk, and we will establish a date to meet, and then we will have a special meeting. Of course, the special meeting, as you saw from the minutes, it basically we call to order, and then we're off the record to make our discussion, and then we're back on the record, and then we end our meeting. So that's basically how a special meeting is held. So they're not scheduled, and they're only scheduled as needed. Last year we had 3, and I think maybe the year before I'm not even sure if we had any the year before, and then the year before we might have had 2 or so. And last year all our meetings were to discuss something other than a ethics issue, really. So there wasn't an ethics issue to discuss last year. So that's it. Does anybody have any thoughts on the meeting? Is once enough for it?
Fine with me.
And is 5 o'clock an appropriate time for everybody? Because that is certainly flexible.
Mm-hmm. That works for me, because we'll do that.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So we'll plan on our annual meeting. As per Craig's discussion, will be Wednesday, December 6th, 2023 at 5 o'clock. And any matters that come to our attention for discussion will be dealt with individually between now and then, and we will call for a special meeting. How's that sound?
Excellent.
Dana, sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, Dana. Well, hopefully sometime in the we're still kind of discussing our scheduling and such before we adjourn, but hopefully we'll be able to meet. I would, I don't know how everybody else is feeling, but we could meet phase two if need be. That's not a bad thing either. That's old school. That's what we always do it, Actually, I think I might be the only one that ever participated in a meeting face to face. Just when I came on, my very first meeting, that was it, and it was December of 19. Yes.
19.
Yeah. After that, there was no more.
I have no objection to doing a meeting in person. I assume that would happen in Kings Highway. Is that, do we use an office there?
What is that?
Actually, my meeting was at the old town hall, but it depends on what rooms are available. It could be Sullivan Hall, it could be the old town hall, it could be Kings Highway.
Okay.
Any port in a storm, I would say.
Do we reserve or do we ask Jen to reserve that room?
That's sort of a good question because it's been so long. But
well, in the past, I have done room reservations, which goes through, and I don't know if it would be for. My understanding is Miriam O'Donnell at Board of Ed does all of the room reservations. So it would either go to Jennifer to complete the room reservation or to Miriam, and it's all done online.
So I guess right now this meeting's scheduled for the 6th of December 2023. As of now, I don't know. Do we need to establish where it's going to be held at this point? I don't think so.
No, just the plan to be able to reserve, and it would be ideal the way meeting, especially if you'd like to meet in person, because the space does fill up quickly, is to just do that reservation sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it'd be better to make it and then cancel if need be.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
I can.
A lot easier too.
I can cross that bridge or entertain that subject with Jennifer Carpenter. I can ask her about what's the protocol, what's our procedure at this point.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Is there any other comments or discussion, or I don't see anything else on the agenda?
There isn't.
Okay. Then, after welcoming you all back, let's have a motion to adjourn.
But first, should we request if anybody has any new business? I don't think there is, but.
Oh, new business?
Yeah.
And no new business, then it's adjournment.
Okay. Then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second. Will be it.
Who made the motion?
I think I did, Brian Cantor.
Okay, thank you, Brian. And then Will.
Will has seconded. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Have a great evening.